Going to a new world in Kingdom Hearts is starting a new adventure with Disney classics we all grew to love, or growing to love. However, some of these Disney classics worlds are poorly presented, confusing, or just plain boring. Although I personally like all the worlds the game series have given us, with the exception of one, some are definitely better than others. Welcome back to another episode of NDC, where we talk about news, discussions, countdowns, and more top of various game series. Today we are going to count down my personal top 5 worst worlds from the Kingdom Hearts series. My only rule is that it must be Disney worlds. Start this countdown. Honorable mention, Port Royal. Yeah, you could definitely tell the world was out of place, but at least it had some pretty fun gimmicks that changed up the gameplay, with the whole magic affecting the pirates and the pirates in the shade or not, and it was presented pretty well besides the graphics. Number 5. Agrabah from Kingdom Hearts 2, specifically. Agrabah from Kingdom Hearts was a pretty decent world to explore for me. The Cave of Wonders was a treat, even if a little confusing, and you got lost sometimes. The only problem that I found was that the rooms of the city of the Agrabah town area were lacking in diversity a little bit, but the Heartless were pretty fun and creative. But in Kingdom Hearts 2, the world to me was sort of lazy. The town area was lazily designed and presented even further lazily than Kingdom Hearts. At least I found that the world was always fun to play through, and it is a decent world overall, especially with Genie's awesomeness. Thank you, Robin Williams. Number 4. Wonderland from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories 358 Coded Anki. I hear a lot of complaints that Wonderland was a really confusing world in Kingdom Hearts. Now this world to me isn't that hard to maneuver through, but that's because I played through it several times. My first time I had to use a walkthrough. Hey, I was 8. Especially since this is your first suggested Disney world in the game, let alone the game, but the series. Some players are bound to be lost, but at least the world was distinct and the story was original and interesting and attuned to the Kingdom Hearts' plot overall, so I left it at number 4. Number 3. Neverland from Kingdom Hearts. No, not the Neverland from Birth by Sleep, or even 35-8. No, I'm talking about this Neverland from Kingdom Hearts. The whole time you're only on Captain Hook's ship, the Jolly Roger. Yeah, you can fly, but the only place you could really use that to your advantage is above deck and at the clock tower, and there's not even Heartless there, besides Phantom. You never even see Neverland in the game. The ship could also be confusing, and there is very little distinction in the rooms like Agrabah. The only plus side is that the story nicely weaves in with Kingdom Hearts' plot, and the Shadow Sora is really cool. The ship idea would have also been cool, but maybe if you actually went to Neverland after you were sort of abducted on the ship, then the world would be a lot better. Number 2. Deep Jungle from Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was a testing ground for a lot of worlds, and they found that there were worlds that worked and worlds that really didn't. Then there was those worlds that could have been great but were super confusing to go through. Like Wonderland, Deep Jungle fit this mold. Again, on your first playthrough of this game, you're probably going to be lost in the world. The world sometimes doesn't even tell you where to go next, and you'll be wandering forever. The world also has you going back and forth to places a lot. What puts this world worse than Wonderland is that there isn't even much special about this world, and even the Heartless are meh. I hear a lot of complaints about the platforming, and yeah, I guess on your first playthrough again, the platforming would be really bad. Square Enix actually lost the copyrights to animated Tarzan, so we're actually not going to be seeing it in the Kingdom Hearts series again, to some fans' relief. Despite all I said today, these worlds are still enjoyable to play through, one way or another. All but one. You saw this coming, but the true terror throughout the sea. Number 1. Atlantica from Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, and Kingdom Hearts 2. No. No! What? Okay. Let's take this from the very, very top. Atlantica and Kingdom Hearts felt like a big test unfinished for 2 reasons. 1, the controls were hard to master, had you going up, down, all over the place, really hard, and 2, Ursula's ugly face. Regardless, the world was still unique and had an interesting concept. But the true horror began when it was reintroduced in Kingdom Hearts 2 as the worst thing a world could be. A rhythm minigame world. Who thought this was a good idea? Who in the world thought that it was imperative not to include good old Heartless and Darkness and whacking Ursula's face with a key, but for Tony Angelo's non-existent singing ability and Ursula's face to show up again with the same old stale plot? Okay, get ready to sit down for an hour to press buttons at certain times to hear the same songs over and over again because you keep on failing, and relive the story where Ursula tricked Ariel again, but with more copying from the movie. So you'll be screaming for about an hour in order to just get one Orichalcum for the Ultima weapon. The only plus I see is that Atlantica is completely unavoidable. Thank goodness. Well, there it is. What do you think is the worst world in the series? For more countdowns, like to share appreciation, comment to share thoughts, share favorite, and subscribe to become a Kingdom Gamer and for some more NDC. And I will see you guys in the next one.